Assalamualaikum, greetings, Nazreen and viewers, subscribers. Today we will delve into what we call the fifth generation war and the intelligence war right now raging in Islamabad. Okay, fifth generation war, and the actual stage where it's being fought is Afghanistan. We will look at both the operational, which diplomatically the term used is regional. We will also look at the tactical aspects of it. What we will share with you some news in there is the assassination attempt on TTP chief Noor Wali Mehsud in Afghanistan, in Kabul. It is very interesting what happened there because he got away, not because he was lucky. We're going to talk about that too. We'll also talk about anti-Taliban militants storming the morality police. Anyway, we'll discuss that too, and their police headquarters. Tajikistan had enough of the cross-border attacks from Afghanistan. They've asked for Russian troops. And what exactly that entails, we will also discuss. For the first time, China has warned Afghanistan. And we will talk in detail on that one too. On the operational level, Pakistan and China are having joint anti-terror exercises. You know where this is going. Another thing very interesting, there was a guy caught shooting at the murder suspect in America. Then there was another guy caught. Indians said Pakistani, but it comes out he was an Afghani. And he had some bomb plans and stuff like that. Now there's a third guy who was caught. He's also Afghani. There is some serious fundamental problem with these people. We also talk about that. The Afghan minister, Mr. Muttaqi, has suddenly declared mysterious projects by Pakistan in Afghanistan, which he's saying these mysterious projects destabilizing his government. Okay. Now, another one we'll talk about. Somebody killed one of the senior leaders of the Taliban. Sajidullah was killed in Kabul. Now we'll get into that too. For those who are new, kindly subscribe. If you like it, share it. And don't forget the bell icon. Now we'll get into the details of all this. Now, excuse me, I'll have to read some of this because there's a lot of detail in here and I don't want to get it wrong. Fresh intelligence emerging from Kabul reveals a jaw-dropping near-death escape by Tehrik-i-Taliban TTP Deputy Chief Noor Wali Mehsud in a precision drone strike. People direct access to the Afghan channels claim attack on Abdul Haq Chowk was anything but random luck. It was deliberate for the terrorist commander. According to the interesting account, Mehsud had just left a wedding ceremony in Afghan capital. These guys are running around pretty wild. I mean, enjoying a lot of state receptions. When a foreign intelligence operator allegedly intercepted his convoy at a critical junction. The operative described as non-Afghan. Could be a Gora or could be an Indian. Working under deep cover. That means they didn't know this guy was an agent. Reportedly engaged the lead security vehicle in what appears to be a routine conversation lasting 30 seconds. Looks like this guy was not unknown to Noor Wali Mehsud. He was known to them. Okay. That brief delay proved fatal for the wrong people. Moments after Mehsud's vehicle was held back, a missile slammed into the convoy that moved ahead. The people left behind, they just kept going, and they killed several senior TTP operatives and bodyguards. who were in the lead vehicles. The strike obliterated 3 SUVs in a fireball that lit up the quiet evening sky of Kabul, leaving the charred remains across the chalk. Afghan witnesses initially believed Mehsud himself had been killed, only for the TTP leader to surface days later in a propaganda footage. So it looks like he got away and then came out of his hole and made a footage. So this revelation is somewhat make a lot of people mad. I mean, where officials see incident proof of continuing foreign intelligence penetration inside Afghanistan that selectively shields high-value Pakistani enemies while eliminating others. So somebody is going around there killing Pakistani operatives, but letting the anti-Pakistan element with a free rein. One of the senior counter-terrorism officers told this someone, the intervention wasn't charity, it was orchestration. So it was a deliberate attempt by another intelligence agency to save him, suggesting a larger geopolitical games are being played with Pakistani blood. So whatever is happening here, there's more than one country involved. And I think we discussed that. The attack on the Chinese was orchestrated with drones exported by India, financed by India over there because of loss of airbase, apparently. The timing of the strike and the mysterious halt may have raised uncomfortable questions which agency both has the capability to track Mehsud in real time and a motive to keep him alive. Because which has the ability to track him in real time, probably just few. Probably our friend Gorasab, us, maybe the Russians. And who would have the information? Whosoever Gorasab gives it to, which brings it down to 2. And one of them definitely is wrong. And I'm sure Raw wants to keep him alive. But anyway, this is the game at a tactical level being played. US has said they didn't target him. Hellfire missile, obviously didn't target him. Fits a pattern observed in previous operations where certain TTP factions, as in the previous history, appeared mysteriously untouchable while being only international terrorists. So somehow or the other, this is not coming out okay. The Abdul Haq Chowk, where the strike happened, marks yet another chapter in the deadly shadow war being waged across the Durand line, where drones, spies, and betrayal continues to dictate who lives and who burns and who dies. The Hellfire strike, and not many countries have Hellfire missiles, after a foreign operative deliberately delayed as convoy lead vehicles to be destroyed instead. What this says is a very intense game is going on inside Kabul, inside Afghanistan. And I think this is being fought both at a regional, which is called the operational level, and a tactical level, which is called intelligence operations. Another thing very interesting is happening here. The rate of this government is beginning to falter. Anti-Taliban militants in Afghanistan stormed Taliban Morality Police headquarters. The Afghan Freedom Front, this is the Tajik, one of the most active armed resistance groups operating in Taliban, has claimed responsibility for a daring attack on the Taliban military for promotion of virtue and prevention of vice headquarters in Mehmana, capital of northern Faryab province. So this is all closer to the Tajik border, if you. In a detailed statement circulating on the events, I mean, just for that, we are clear. I show you where Tajikistan is on the map, if you look beyond, north of Afghanistan, Tajikistan is one of the green countries. In a detailed statement on social media, Afghan Freedom Front fighters launched a pre-planned operation that targeted the gathering of Taliban morality police as they were exiting the heavily guarded building. The group asserted 2 Taliban members were killed in the assault, claimed the fate of provincial head Vice Virtue remains unknown, suggesting they may have been seriously wounded or killed. The local residents reported hearing gunfire near the ministry compound, though independent verification remains difficult due to tight Taliban control over the information in the area. The attack basically shows that insurgency is still taking hold, and Taliban authority is not really liked in certain areas where ethnic minorities have shown resentment towards predominantly Pashtun Taliban administration. Do know they're only 16% of the population. The rest of the population is Tajik, Uzbek, another one, fairly liberal in their mindset. Tajikistan being fed up with the continuous attacks across the border, they've gone to Russia, invoked the CTSO treaty, and they seek Moscow's military aid to secure the border. They are in talks with Russia on deployment of Russian forces to monitor the 1,300-kilometer border with Afghanistan following a series of deadly cross-border attacks that claimed the lives of 5 Chinese. So it's pretty interesting what's going on over there. This attack was last week. In Dushanbe, the capital of Tajikistan, they have confirmed that the negotiations have started with the, especially after the Chinese people were killed, have heightened security in Central Asia. The people familiar with the discussion with the Russians revealed that Russia is preparing to provide aerial surveillance, rapid response capabilities, including helicopter patrols, if an agreement is reached. A decision is expected before the end of the week, with both sides describing talks as constructive. The regional analyst, not talking operational level, warned that any permanent Russian presence along the Tajik-Afghan frontier could alter the strategic balance in Central Asia and draw sharp reactions both from Kabul and Western capitals. It means it makes RAW very uncomfortable when Russians are deployed here. I mean, they will have trouble hitting Russians. And Russians will have no qualm defending their Tajik friends if the ISIS or something like that, who don't like the Russians, come around and do some drone attacks. And Russia is not going to tolerate it. And now, one other thing which has happened now is, for the first time, China warns Afghanistan after they lose 5 Chinese dead. So far, they've been saying, peace, peace, good fellow, talk to each other, just do it with talks. But I think they finally had it. And the Chinese major contingent has arrived for counter-terror joint operations with Pakistan. You know where that's going. China has issued a stern warning to the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan following the killing of 5 Chinese nationals. Actually, the 2 separate attacks. 1 killed 3, 1 killed 2. Cross-border attacks across Afghan territory into Tajikistan, marking a sharp escalation in the regional security tensions. Chinese embassy in Kabul confirmed Ambassador Zhao Jing held urgent talks with acting Deputy Minister for Political Affairs of the Islamic Taliban, Dr. Mohammad Naeem, which Beijing conveyed its profound concern over the security situation along the Afghan-Tajik border and the deliberate targeting of Chinese nationals. The Emperor Zhao pressed the Islamic Emirate, as is Pakistan pressing, as is Tajikistan pressing, as is USA pressing, to fulfill its international commitment by preventing Afghan soil from being used for terrorist activities against neighboring states and foreign personnel. The meeting underscored China's expectations of immediate and concrete measures to dismantle cross-border militant attacks, and that included also on Pakistan. So all that hot shit about guests and we can't do anything, and they're actually Tajik problem or Iran problem or Pakistani problem. Nobody's buying it. So on the operational level, regional level, Afghan has lost the narrative. Now the whole thing is on a tactical level. What happens next? And for that, the Chinese counter-terror is operating here. The Tajik authorities have attributed the deadly assaults to militant groups operating from bases inside Afghanistan, stating that attacks occurred over recent days resulting in deaths of Chinese workers who were engaged in regional projects. And Dushanbe, Tajikistan, described the incident as a direct threat to the stability of Central Asia, and that is why the Russians are getting involved also. Now, there's something interesting. Remember the guy who shot two US forces people in DC, just very short distance from the White House? They actually think that has a Taliban connection in Afghanistan, which the Taliban say, oh, no, the ISI is framing us. Anyway, US investigating agencies are not running around asking ISI what happened. They're actually doing their own analysis. Federal investigators in Washington are increasingly focusing on Taliban blackmail as a primary motive behind the shooting of a 20-year-old District of Columbia Guard soldier by the former Afghan commander who worked for the CIA and fought with the Americans. He was shot with a .357 revolver outside the National Guard facility, that is, Sarah Bexton, less than a mile from White House. And the gentleman's name is Lakhanwal. Has served in CIA paramilitary force known as Commando Force 333 and also participated in the 2021 Kabul evacuation. Further investigation by the intelligence and assessment and the criminal assessment now indicates that Mr. Lakhanwal may have been coerced by Taliban elements who continue to hunt down former US aligned fighters, especially their families inside Afghanistan. So what they're saying is they blackmail the families left over in Afghanistan to probably make them do stuff over here in the USA. And that is why Trump said, we'll look at all of these guys. Officials believe units such as Taliban Yarmouk 60 Special Forces have spent years tracking down veterans of CIA-supported commando groups, executing relatives through beheadings and other brutal methods, when especially they cannot locate the fighters themselves. So if they don't find out the fighters, they cut the heads off the relatives. Estimate 700 members of these elite Afghan units remain detained or under direct threat inside the country. Now, if this is what's going on, then all Afghans being in the West are subject to this coercion. And that is why the red flag is going up. They just caught one other Afghan guy and then another Afghan guy. Is this the end of the road, or is this just a starting? Are they using these tactics for people inside Pakistan also? Coercion? Is it good to host these people, Afghans inside Pakistan? These are the questions which everybody is beginning to ask. What if guys threaten, if you don't do what we tell you to do, we Taliban tell you to do, we're going to cut the heads off your Nana, Dada, and everybody else. All your grandparents, your friends, your brothers, your sisters, everybody. And they actually will do that. The emerging theory suggests, according to the FBI and the investigation, Mr. Lakhanwal drove more than 3,000 kilometers from his home in California, carrying only a single revolver to attack heavily armed troops in what investigators believe as a deliberate suicide mission intended to end the Taliban leverage over his family. Wow. Defense officials confirmed, despite extensive vetting program, no mechanism exists to protect families of resettled commandos who remain in Afghanistan, except by regime change or by having an inclusive government. You know what our DGISPR said? It is this non-representative people who don't act like the state, but they are non-state actors. They are the problem. What they're saying is Taliban are the problem. Here's another question which will need to be answered. Human rights groups say dozens of relatives have already been killed since the Taliban returned to power. They've killed a lot of these people. So this thing is going on for a long time. And I'm sure they've done it to relatives of Afghans in Pakistan also. Now the interesting part. Mr. Muttaqi, Afghan Minister Mr. Muttaqi has accused Pakistan of mysterious projects. Now that's something which caught my eye, and I said, what is that? He also warned of escalating tensions over border and economic leverage. In a stark escalation of diplomatic rhetoric, Taliban Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi has leveled serious accusations of Pakistan, according to Afghanis, claiming Islamabad is employing pressure tactics and pursuing enigmatic initiatives within Afghanistan. Pakistan is employing pressure tactics and enigmatic initiatives inside Afghanistan that threaten to destabilize the region meaning Taliban. Speaking at a public gathering in Kabul, described Pakistan attempts to impose mysterious projects on Afghan soil, actually argued are designed to undermine Taliban administration stability. Well, try and act like a stable government, nobody will bother you. You're acting like an unstable, non-state actor, so that's what people are beginning to realize now. Another thing, kind of this was the other end. Now, on the other end, a TTP commander, Sajidullah, was killed in a Kabul exchange of fire. The high-profile terrorist and companions slain returning from their event in a significant development, prominent commander of Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan, Sajidullah Ilyas Muawi Badri, has been killed in Kabul. This incident occurred in Panjam Nawai area of Afghan capital, where Sajidullah and his companions were ambushed by unknown armed individuals during exchange of gunfire. It definitely was not Raw who killed them. According to reports, the group was returning from dinner when the attack took place, resulting in the deaths of Sajidullah and several associates. Pakistani authorities have described Sajidullah as a highly wanted terrorist, underscoring his involvement in multiple attacks on security forces in Pakistan. Sajidullah, son of Sharif Khan, and hails from Bari Court in Upper Dir, was regarded as a key operational figure within the TTP hierarchy. The circumstances surrounding the Kabul firefight remain shrouded in mystery, with no immediate claims of responsibility from any group. Speculation abounds regarding identity of assailants, ranging from rival militant factions to possible involvement by Afghan security elements or even external agencies. Well, if it was external, my hat's off to them. Pakistan repeatedly urged Afghan interim government to take decisive action against TTP sanctuaries on its soil, and demand that met with limited success and frequent denials. This event could potentially alter the dynamics of counter-terrorism efforts in the region, prompting renewed diplomatic engagement or escalations. And let's say Sajidullah death may disrupt the command structure in the short term, given his role in coordinating recruitment in Dir and Swat Valley. Or at least somebody's going to breathe easy in Dir and Swat. Now, getting back, Afghans are really at a situation where people's tolerance on a regional basis is gone. Qatar wants to blow diplomatic relations with these guys because they are not acting sane. Turkey tried, failed, and they have a lot of support with the majority of the non-Pashtun crowd up north. There's also Saudi Arabia jumped in with all the stuff. They're not listening to Farmanwa anymore because their orders are coming from where? Yes, you thought right. Now, with that, I want to bring our host, Ms. Cher Bano, to the stage. And welcome, Cher Bano. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I am fine. Nice to see you.
Same here. So let's break it down with the questions and that are shaping these developments. So let's talk about the Pakistan and US reset versus China's strategic confidence. Has Pakistan's warming relationship with the US genuinely altered its strategic tilt, or is China right in claiming that no external power can shape the Iron Brotherhood built around CPEC?
Well, just recently, a gentleman named Victor Gao, he is their head of their biggest strategic think tank. He just came on board on a television. He said, all those people who are saying Pakistan's relationship with the US makes China angry. He says, nothing. So all those people saying Pakistan won't get latest arms and guns because they're close to the US, they say Pakistan will get the latest arms and the most advanced arms China can provide. They will do it. And our friendship is in, nobody can come in between it. It's an ironclad, iron brotherhood. So the Chinese say it's not the case. Pakistanis say it's not the case. The Y-20s keep landing in Pakistan all over the place. And I'm sure they're not bringing tourists here. I think they're bringing stuff which makes our friends across the border sweat. I mean, like the beautiful HQ-19s. The beautiful HQ-29. The HPM-3000, the drone killers. And the ultimate J-35. So all those things are coming. We just have to wait, or probably already here. So there is no problem with China. US is not threatened by our friendship with China. So we are a pivot for both. So both are happy with Pakistan. And both are unhappy.
Okay, talking about electronic warfare dominance in South Asia. So, with Turkey jets joining the PAF, is Pakistan now positioned to neutralize India's S-400 and Rafale Spectra systems, effectively shifting the regional electronic warfare balance?
Actually,
what do you comment about that?
Business, electronic warfare, Turkey knows that very well. Turkey also knows the S-400, S-500, and the Russian defense systems because of the close relationship with Ukraine. So the electronic warfare jets they're providing or provided to Pakistan already, and more coming, are directly there to neutralize anything on the Russian end, S-400, and anything on the Russian avionics, on their even their stealth jets, because Turkey has helped Ukraine shoot down stealth jets over there also. And they're also very good at blunting Israel's electronic warfare. So yeah, that is a milestone, and Pakistan is moving forward with it. Did I answer your question?
Yes, exactly. All right. Talking about the Afghanistan's emerging multi-front insurgency. So, do the assassination attempts on TTP leaders, Taliban Pakistan talks collapsing, and anti-Taliban groups attacking the morality police signal that Afghanistan is entering a new phase of internal rebellion? What do you comment about that?
I think it's they are in a state of insurrection, and I think people are beginning to wanting to get rid of them. Look, if you're if you're a Pashtun woman, do you like not getting education? I mean, I don't think you're making any points there. I mean, you're going to keep 8 million Pashtun women in a burqa with only 2 holes there to look outside, and they're going to walk behind their husband, whereas they can be doctors. I mean, they can bring up to the party. You know, they can get educated. If your women are educated, your next generation is educated, and they have a bigger, I don't know where they're going. Now, definitely, the rest of the crowd, except the 16 million, the rest of the 42 million, they're liberal people. They don't like these guys' vice and morality prevention crap. So I think the days are numbered. And that's what I think the Mustaki is referring to, the mysterious project. I think he doesn't understand them. That's a problem.
Hmm. All right. Coming towards a new Eurasian security realignment. As Tajikistan seeks Russian troops deployment, Chinese workers comes under attack, and KP faces renewed terrorism, whereas Russia claims momentum in Ukraine. Are multiple conflict zones converging into a wider regional power shift?
Yeah, I think if you look at the green map here, which is sent by CENTCOM, this is already there. Now it's being strengthened. The kid president is here, and what he's basically saying is, please let's get rid of these jokers. Enough is enough. Tajik guys are saying enough is enough. Let's get rid of these guys. Iran has a standard policy. Afghanis come across the border, they shoot them dead. They shot 10 of them day before yesterday. Okay. And here people are going around, oh my God, take pity, send food stuff across. To the guys who are saying we don't recognize the Durand line. What if we don't recognize the Durand line? Then what are you? Are you a district of Pakistan? I mean, these guys are not logical. All they're doing is getting money from Raw in India, and they're thinking they're having a nice time. But I think their number is up.
Okay, so basically, the global order is no longer changing quietly, and it's changing loudly and all at once. So, thanks for deliberately answering the question. So, all yours.
Thank you, Merbano, and thank you very much. And I'd like to just do a close up at the end. I think we brought to you what the intelligence war is happening in Afghanistan. We also brought to you it at an operational level, which means all the nations are collecting and they're beginning to wanting to take action. Remember that our action, Operation Cleanup, was stopped by Qatar, our Arab, and Turkey, and they were stopped by Saudi Arabia. Oh, no. We can't have you fighting Ummah. What they didn't realize, these guys are in the pay of idol worshipping Hindus. So now we're coming to a stage where I think Qatar is going to probably cut diplomatic relations with Afghanistan. Iran also came here to Pakistan, giving us a blank check diplomatic about India or what, and all they got is focus on the terror support you're providing and cut this out. That's what our army chief told them. So BLA coercion as a tactic to force people to do suicide attacks is not new. Taliban are doing it, BLAs are doing it. It's a rational tactic which the RAW uses also. So we are facing an enemy which we have to fight on all fronts. And part of the problem is the social media, they lie a lot. And that's part of the reason why we started this. We get nothing from anybody. We just saying what we see, the truth as it coming. So now, do remember, India's got a lot of armaments coming, all coming around March, April timeframe. You know what they're going to do at that time. We better handle this Afghan issue before it becomes the two-front war. And I think right now, most of the countries are beginning to coalesce around that. And I wish to all, we are in an intelligence war with more agencies. I mean, it could also be Mossad. So turn off your cell phones, turn on and off your computers also. Be safe. You don't lose much just 2 minutes. But you make it safe, and you make it safe for your also fellow citizens. So take care, good night, and see you in 2 to 3 days.